Okay, so everyone look at here. Okay, here we go. Okay, am I audible? Papa and Sai.
Yes, Harsha.
Okay, so you can go to mute. So we'll go and see now. See. Now. Very good. See, in a project development, we have different phases. See, first thing is we'll go and get the requirements. So make allows the requirements.
Actually, quality management system project.
Quality management project. Okay.
Company pharmaceutical వాళ్ళు clinical trials
రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్ ఎట్లా వస్తున్నాయి డాక్యుమెంటా లేకపోతే ఏమన్నా అప్లికేషన్ ఉందా దానికి
డాక్యుమెంట్
ఎక్సెల్ డాక్యుమెంట్ లో వస్తున్నాయా
మామూలు బోర్డ్
డాక్యుమెంట్ ఓకే సో see in the project development if you already know about it that's fine otherwise you can go through it after that I'll explain the project any project how you have to so first you will get the requirements okay see once you get the requirements okay so you will do the analysis part. So once you are done with analysis, you need to go ahead. Sometimes it is something like you need to go ahead and prepare test cases initially only. Okay, test case documents. Okay, so and also in some cases you will have another type of document called proposed functionality. So functionality like proposed functionality. Okay, so in this document you will go ahead and let them know what is the current functionality, that is how the application is working today, and later on you will go ahead and you will write down in the same document what is the future functionality after the changes, that you are going to make, how it will behave. So you will write down all these things and then you will prepare a test case document and you will share these two with the tech leads and then business analyst. Okay, so who will prepare these requirements? Okay, requirements will be prepared by business analyst. Okay, so business analyst is the one who sits just in between you and developers and business, actual business. Okay, so you know, right, Pega applications are being accessed by some of the business users. Okay, so in your interviews, how many business users have to your application? Okay, so mostly Pega applications will not have more than 100, not more than that, I don't think so. 100, 120, 150. In some cases you will have 10 business users, 15, 20, 25. Okay, it depends. 100 business users means obviously your application should be a big application and should be you should have different teams sitting in different locations across the country and they are working on. Okay, so your whatever I have told initially in the demo, so after the demo your Pega applications will be accessed by back operations teams. So unlike if you go to Java and .NET, many applications are given to end users, means we are the end users, we will access the application. In that case, how many business users you have? You have many users, right? Say suppose Facebook you take. How many business users Facebook has? It is in billions of people. So unlike that, Pega applications are being back operations applications. So if you go to bank, so the bank people, whoever the employees of the particular organization, they are the business users till today for Pega applications. So there is no application that is there interacting with end users so far in Pega. Okay, so now mostly you can say 60 business users who are sitting across different places in the country of US, UK, whatever it is, okay, or 50 or 40 or 20, it depends, okay. You need to manage to go ahead and tell them, okay. So now, so each there will be a different teams. So if you have 60 people, 60 people will not work independently, right? They may be for a team of 5 people, like that. In a team 7 people will be there sitting across the locations, and you will go ahead and, so the business analyst is the person who will be interacting with that business users whenever they are accessing the application. So they will hear from real business, okay. So they will hear from the business, this is what we are doing exactly today, okay. We need this kind of implementation for our business to make the enhancements, and so that we can provide better solutions to the customers. So business analysts will have complete idea of the application functionality. They do not understand technology, okay. They do not understand PRPC technology. They will understand only the functionality of application, okay. So better than you, business analyst knows about the business functionality. Better than business analyst, the end users will have good knowledge about the application, okay, whatever that they are working on. And now they will come to business analyst and they will discuss with the business analyst in the meetings. This is what the today's functionality. We need to make changes to the existing functionality in another way so that we can provide better solutions. Otherwise, so we are going to provide this new type of feature to the end users today for our users. So far we have all these bankings. We don't have mortgage banking. Our organization is getting into mortgage banking. So we need to implement the mortgage banking structure and implementations in our application. So they will come up with the requirements. So they both will have will discuss and they will prepare the requirement documents. Okay. So the business analyst will prepare the requirement documents. See, in the preparation of the requirement documents, so they will decide on. So these are the okay, I'll come to here. So requirements, right? So in the preparation of requirement document, what they will do is, so number of requirements they will identify. Okay, these are the number of requirements. Okay, so I want to complete this requirement. Say suppose I have 5 requirements. Okay, so these 5 requirements they will give. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to share it now. Okay, so these are the number of requirements. All these requirements have to be completed within these 3 months. So the number of requirements, they will specify some time. Okay, time period, time duration will be there. You have to complete your tasks once you are being assigned with this particular task. Okay, so your task will be taken today, means it should be completed by within the time duration. Okay, so they will decide on it. Okay, when to start this task and what is the end date of production date. So that is called production release date. Production release date. Okay. So now, so production release date means when the code will move to live servers. Okay. So after the time duration is being decided, based on the methodology, they will go ahead and proceed and make sure to identify the number of points, something, what requirement should take how many days and all. Say suppose you are going to work on waterfall methodology. Okay. So here we go ahead with methodologies. Okay. Say suppose waterfall methodology. See, in a waterfall methodology, so the development will be like, it is like a rapid development, and also the requirements will be given to you. So there won't be, they will not give you certain deadlines. There will be a deadline. The deadline can be extended. Okay. So, but you will not deliver before deadlines, but that is for sure. But in a waterfall methodology, deadlines can be extended. Okay, so there is no specific time period and there is no specific time to take the calls and all. You can decide on spot. So suppose tomorrow we will come together on the call and discuss about the things that we have done so far and any gaps that we identify in the requirement, something like that. It depends on how you will go ahead and talk to the BA or tech leads. So we will arrange the calls, and there is no specific process for making the calls. Say suppose you can go ahead and set up your own. 3 days once we will going to sit on the call, or 2 days once, or 5 days once, or weekly once we will sit on the call, something like that. So you will see, this is called bulk requirement development. Okay, so you will be given with the requirements, you will do the analysis. There is no documents preparation is required. You will not prepare much of the documents, like you will not prepare analysis document, proposed functionality documents. This and all you are not required to do. So once you get the requirements, you will do the analysis. If you have any questions, you will sit in the call and get the explanation done. and everything is done. So there is no walkthrough of the requirements and all given to you. When I say walkthrough means this is how, so they will usually open the application. This is how it is behaving today. Tomorrow it has to behave like this. So that is what walkthrough of the application. That will not be given in the, you should not be expecting that in the waterfall methodology. Okay. So in a waterfall methodology, you will go ahead and do the development like it's for a certain period of 1 month or 15 days. It depends. Okay, depending on the requirements also, the deadlines can be extended. It is like a complete development. See, completely you are developing a flow, entire flow that you can take into waterfall methodology. Okay, so it's like a module, complete module development, you can say. Okay, so there will be a waterfall methodology team, and also in your project, after, see, initially when they are going to start the project, they will go ahead with this methodology. Waterfall methodology means it's like a bulk development. All the requirements will be given to you and you are going ahead and developing it. Okay, so your requirements, for gathering the requirements, you can use maybe there are different tools. So this is one of the tools, Jira. So this is one of the tool wherein which they will go ahead and post the requirement documents. You can note down. See, there will be an application. Okay, the application name, the application tool name is Jira. Okay, usually whatever I have used, I am telling, there might be another tools also available in the market.
SharePoint.
SharePoint is different. SharePoint is not for the purpose of only requirements. Okay, so I'll talk about that one also. See, Jira tool you can use. See, what they will do is they will open a request. It is like a so they will have access to it. You will not have access to open the request and all. So they will open a request and they will write down the requirements and attach requirement documents. It can be either Excel documents or Word documents, whatever it is. If you have some diagrams and all, they can use still Word documents. Only requirements point wise they want to write, they will write in the Excel document. Okay, and then attach the requirement documents, and so there will be certain, for these 3 months they have raised 5 requirements. Okay, they will upload the 5 requirements into the Jira tool and they will notify the tech leads. So what they will do, then tech leads will go ahead and open the Jira tool, log into Jira tool, and then they will go ahead with looking at the requirements. So each requirement will have an ID. Okay, each requirement will have a requirement ID. Say suppose in my requirement ID is equal to REQ0001. In this requirement I can have, see, we'll go ahead, requirement. Okay, so we'll have requirement ID 00001. Okay, in this REQ0001 you will have the requirements defined 1.1. Say suppose say suppose 1. So within the 1, so what they will give here, complete description of the requirement. Okay, we need changes to our existing application to add new mortgage banking. Okay, something like this they will write. So within this you will go ahead and start 1.1 requirement. So otherwise this can be A1, this can be, so it depends, A 1.1, and they will write the requirements here one by one. So after this A 1.1, 1.2, so like this they will go ahead and write so on 1.n. Okay, so they will write, see here each requirement will be written. This is called user story. Okay, these are called user stories. Okay, so these are all called user stories, and your requirements are said to be use cases. Okay, so you'll get use cases. In business terminology we'll call it as use cases. Okay, each requirement is a use case. You have 5 requirements, means 5 use cases. In the use cases you'll have user stories. Stories means requirement points, everything. The terminology రావాలి మీకు. Okay, ఎందుకు మనకి బాధ అనుకుంటున్నావా, అట్టగా ఉంది. Okay, so you will have user stories. See, you're not required to think much about what is a story and all. See, what is a story will have some points in that. Okay, these are all points are called user stories, and the entire requirement is said to be use cases. Okay, so now if you go ahead here, so this is what waterfall methodology. Okay, the same way of requirements will be available in Scrum methodology also. See, if you go ahead with Scrum methodology,
This one is just for requirement collection.
uh,
It's just for requirement collection.
This is all whatever we have seen so far is only requirements.
So the Jira tool is just for requirement evaluation.
Yeah, that's what we will access usually. I don't know what they will do more than this. Okay, so say suppose you take Scrum methodology. Okay, in the Agile, Scrum is one of the methodology. So Agile is a methodology. So part of it is Scrum. Okay, so you can understand it is Agile or Scrum. Okay, so if you go ahead with the Scrum, say suppose most of the your enhancement projects and all you will you will see in the Scrum methodology. Okay, so it is a defined structure. Scrum is a defined structure. So where you have Scrum masters. Okay, so usually your managers are technical managers are the Scrum masters, or normal managers are the Scrum masters. One second, Pramod. Scrum methodology, if you go to the terminology, you have Scrum masters. So usually who are the Scrum master?
That's the third part.
Okay. Oh, third party. Usually your Scrum master will be managers from your company or from vendor, whatever it is. Okay. So high level technical managers are normal managers. So they will have their own certifications, Scrum certifications they will do. Okay. So Scrum masters will decide on the giving the points and all to your requirements. Here again the same thing. User stories will be there. Okay. In your application, requirements will be there. So here each story, say suppose I said here A1, right? Within the A1 I have A1.1. So okay, story 1. Okay, so they will give some points to it. Okay, say suppose 1 point they will give, or 2 points, depends on the requirement. So say suppose 1 point equal how many days?
It will be like we have a story, and under the story we have task.
Hmm.
So but we take for a sprint, 2 week sprint, we take 2 stories. And under the story we give the 5 6 tasks will be there.
That is fine. Each point they will give
5 to 6 tasks.
numbers. What is the numbers count? Story points.
That's what point.
Means what is the meaning of story point?
See, if you say I'm developing, I'm putting a button.
I am going to give 1 point for the story. Means
Putting a button. That's what story. So where it should be, how it should be, those are the tasks.
that is fine. For each story there will be points. That is what I am asking. Make idea unna? Okay, so we'll go ahead now. See here. See for each story 1 to n. So you have some points given. Story points. One. It can be 1. It can be 2, or it can be 5. Okay. So if you say 1 point equal to, sometimes it is 2 days, or 1 point equal to 1 day. Okay, so this particular requirement can take 1 day. Okay, so you should be able to reach that particular point. Okay, 2 days, 2 they have given means can be 2 days or 4 days. You have to complete this task within the given points. Okay, if you're going to finish it within the given points, they will revisit the requirement and reduce the number of points, so that your time duration will be reduced. and efforts will be reduced finally, so that the cost on cost to the particular vendor will be reduced obviously. Okay, so that will be decided here. Okay, so here if you go ahead like this, user points, story points will be there. Okay, so after that in a Scrum methodology you will have daily status calls. Okay, so you will have daily status calls with your team, within your team you can have, and with the business analysts. Okay, so you will never go ahead and communicate with business users until and unless you are working in support projects. Okay, if you are going to be a developer, you are not required to go back to the business users. Business users is the one who will work on the application directly in the production environment. Okay, so they always you need to communicate. Just hang on. Internet going now. Give me 2 minutes. Yes. See, am I audible now? In between I lost the connection. Okay. So now daily status calls you will be attending. So you will be attending the status calls with your team. Okay. Say suppose your team of 5 members. The 5 members sitting together. Okay. Maybe at the same place or different locations. You are in Hyderabad, they are in Kolkata. And business analyst will join. Maybe so the business analyst can be from your team, from your organization, or he or she can be from vendor's organization, client organization. Okay, so both cases are possible. Okay, most of the scenarios you will see business analyst from client side. Okay, and few scenarios you will see business analyst sitting with your organization. Okay, so now you will have status calls. In the status calls, what you will discuss is if you have any concerns, any doubts, any ambiguities in the requirements, any gap that you have identified. Say suppose you have been given with one requirement that should be completed in 2 days. Another person has given with the another requirement. So, but you both have dependency. Once the other requirement is completed only, you can start this one. Okay. So these kind of dependencies you need to identify in your analysis, and you need to tell the business analyst initially before you start. See, once after everything is done, this is the gap. If you tell now, this will be a bad remark on the company itself. Okay, you should not do that. See, one thing is you will be never missing the deadlines. Okay, if you are going to miss the deadline means out. Okay, you will be fired out. That is for sure. Okay, so no one will entertain you to miss the deadlines. Okay, so you have to meet the deadlines, whatever that is being given. Okay, so in a daily status calls, you will work with the business analyst and discuss about all these things. What is the progress of your work? What you have done so far today? By end of day, what you have done? You need to send an email notification to your team. So not to the business analyst, to your team, and you need to discuss everything with the tech leads. If you have any questions, any doubts, any concerns with the application, the first point of contact is your team lead. Probably you will discuss with your colleagues and then go to team lead and then tech leads. If you all people decided to go to business analyst, then only you have to communicate with the business analyst. You should not be directly communicating with business analyst. That is not the correct process. As a low-level employee, you should not be directly communicating without informing the lead or technical architects. Okay, so if it is beyond the level of technical architects and everyone, then you have to go to the something you may not know that can be known to other person. Okay, so if it is not being resolved within your team, then only you should reach the business analyst for that particular requirement and to get it clarified. Okay, so this is what the general terminology in a Scrum methodology. Apart from daily status, what we have? Okay, what we'll have? Daily status calls, requirements, and you have fixed deadlines. Okay, so in a Scrum, so you have different sprints, right? So where each sprint equal to 2 weeks, means 10 days, 10 working days, 2 weeks. Okay, so you will get the requirements. Say suppose you are working on today's sprint this week, the next sprint requirements will be already given to you. Okay, you will not start working on it, but still those will be available, made it ready. Okay, so you will have 2 sprints a month, 2 weeks a sprint, 1 sprint. So in a sprint you have use cases given to you. So for these 2 weeks you may get 4 use cases. 4 use cases, you are 2 people are developer. Okay, each one will take two requirements, 2 use cases. Use case will have user stories. You need to complete these 2. Okay, so once you are been done with your development, you need to go ahead and do development is done. So what you will do? You will do unit testing. Okay, so once of all unit testing is done, so during the unit testing what you need to do is you need to go ahead and complete all your test cases. Okay, positive and negative test cases also you need to verify. Okay, so also in some of the test cases, in some of the unit testing, you need to consider in-flight and in-flight and future cases. What we'll call future cases? So what is the meaning of in-flight and future cases? Say suppose your business is expecting some changes to your application. Okay, this change should be applicable to the work objects that you are going to create after the implementation date. It has moved to product. It will move to production on August 16th. After it has moved to production, once it is there in the production, from that moment onward, if you are creating a new work object, the fifth screen in my application should be available. For all the old work objects which are already been available, which are being worked on, which are still going through the application, see you have submitted a task. Okay, so say suppose you have a leave request flow. Okay, in the leave request flow you have submit a request, approve or reject. Okay, this is the functionality. Okay, today. So you have come up with new changes. In between you are going to introduce one more one more assignment. So see suppose what it could be, review by someone else. Okay, review screen before approval or reject, just review screen. Okay, this is the in between you are going to introduce. So this third, whatever the new screen that you are introducing, it should be available to the work objects that you are going to create from so and so day. What is that day? August 16th I will move the code to live environment. From August 16th, after you create any work objects, this particular screen should come to the users. And say suppose I have submitted my leave request today. Okay, so tomorrow is August 16th, means it is a whole day, but my manager will respond on this particular work object maybe after August 16th. So he is accessing the work object after August 16th where new code is there, but the code is been created, but the work object is been created in the past. So this is called in-flight work object. In-flight work object means which is already available and pending in the system, which will also move to the flow after the production is been done. So for this particular in-flight work object, you should not see this code, this particular screen. So in-flight means the work objects that are already been created in the system, which will still flow through the application after the code new changes are being done. Okay, so the work objects which are being created before the production move, and the work objects which are being created after the production, these are the future work objects, these are in-flight work objects. Okay, so you need to understand the requirements with respect to the in-flight work objects. Also you need to create your test cases with respect to that. Okay, so if I am going to give some feature to user, that feature should be effective from so and so day. Okay, but not to the old codes, old work objects. Okay, that you need to remember. So you need to complete all your test cases and you need to give the test results. Test case is pass, test case fail, something. If it is pass, what is the work object number? With this work object I have tested. Okay, so you need to provide test results, unit test results I meant to say, unit test results. So in the unit test results, what you will give? You will give work objects IDs, work object IDs. So these are the work objects that I have tested. For each test case you need to provide. Clear everyone? Okay, so this is what you need to do. After unit testing is done, you will notify tech leads. Okay, so once you are notified with the tech leads, what they will do, once all the people are done with their code changes, they will go ahead and create a product rule. Okay, so they will go ahead and create a product rule. Once the product rule is being done, so your code is being done, everything is been done. So where you will code all these things? You have different environments or different servers available. Okay, one is development server. So this is the server where developers will work. Okay, so and another one is, you can say it is QA or testing or INT, integration. Okay, so anything you can say, it depends in your company how they are going to call it. Okay, so this region will be accessed by mostly our testers. Okay, in your team there will be testers, right? So those will be working on the application for testing purpose. Once you are done with your code product file creation, you will copy paste deploy the product file into a test region. So once it is being moved to the test region, what they will do? So they will verify our test cases, whatever that we have done, and they will prepare their own test cases. They will not completely depend on your test cases. Okay, they will have application knowledge. They will prepare according to the requirements. They will requirements will be shared to them. As per the requirements, they will prepare their own test case documents, and they will go through all their test cases. And if at all something fails in the testing, they identified this feature is failing. Okay, so what they will do is they will raise a defect. So in order to raise a defect, okay, you have a tool called, what is the tool? Defect management system. What is the other one you told? Quality center or life cycle, something is telling. Quality center. Okay, quality center na? Quality life cycle na? Means quality life cycle. Yeah, it can be any name. Defect management system. So they will raise a defect and it will generate a defect ID. Okay, they will send it to you, your team. Okay, so this is the defect ID we have raised. This is what they will give the description. What is the how they have tested, step by step they will give, and what is the expected result, what is the error that they are getting, or what is the functionality missing that they are looking at. They will send all the screenshot and everything will be given to you. You will log into defect management system, open it and understand, and you will need to work on it. Once you are completed, you need to again get a product and then migrate it into the production QA region. See, once you are done, everything is done, all the test cases are being successful, QAs are done, so they will notify back to the business analyst saying our testing is done, everything is fine, we are going to approve it. Your QA manager will be there, he will approve. This requirement is been approved for further proceedings. So it will go to UAT. See, this region will be there with every client. UAT means user acceptance testing. Okay. See, UAT means user acceptance testing. This is one server. This is one server. Development QA is one server. UAT is one server. See, here they will do regression testing. So when I say regression testing, so testing with respect to all the test cases, testing with respect to the old cases, and everything they will test, whatever that they can do. Okay. So complete testing they will do. Even business analyst will do the testing here in the UAT regions. In many scenarios, business analyst also will sit and complete the testing part. This is called regression testing. Once your regression testing is completed and everything is fine, say suppose at this point of time if you get any defects, again you will be notified through DMS and you need to complete and move it to the QA region, and then see at this point of time if you find any issues means it's not your problem. So you are not required to face any issue. If at QA region you got defects means people will scold you. You are the responsible person. If it is moved to user acceptance testing and you still identify someone, any issues means that is a problem of testers. They did not test it perfectly. Okay. So after this, it will go to production region. So production is live environment. Okay, live environment where end users will work on it. Okay. So there will be, so code will be moved. So here after see during the production deployment what happens. See, for a production deployment there will be a release date. Okay, so release date is August 16th I want to release. Okay, before the release date what you need to do is you will have a tool usually. Say suppose you have a service now or service center ticketing tool. So these are the ticketing tools. So in this tool as a developer you need to raise a ticket. See this ticket what it will do, it will have the production release date, it will mention what is the application that is going on to the production, all the details about the application, what modules are moving, everything will be specified. You need to add the approvers. So who are the approvers? So the approvers will be your manager, project manager, BA and some business manager again from business side. Okay, apart from business analyst there can be another managers. These are all people who have to approve this ticket, then only it will move to the production. Okay, now so in this ticket what you need to attach? So you need to attach What we need to attach? What we need to attach in this ticket? Implementation plan, right? You don't know about implementation plan? See, it is irrespective of technology I'm talking. Either it is .NET, Java, Pega, whatever it is so far we have seen is irrespective of technology. It's not only Pega. Say you will do the same thing or what? You don't have implementation plan. Without implementation plan, no code will move to production in any technology anyway. What is an implementation plan will contain? How you need to move the code. Okay, what is the duration of whatever the task that you are going to perform. So this implementation plan is the what is it? Instructions for release team. See, who will do your production deployment is, there will be a separate team. You will never do production deployment. Okay, so there will be a separate team called release management team. So the release management team will go ahead and get your request. So you will notify them, this is the path where we have the code. They will take the code and deploy it into the target environment. See, your deployment will not happen through Pega tool, okay, in the production. So they can use some special tools called ARM. I don't know the abbreviation. And or what else will be there? SVN is not a deployment tool. It's a code maintenance tool, version management tool. ARM, Git. What is the deployment tool you use?
Actually, in that what you are using the cloud. You are using the cloud.
Okay, whatever it is. What is the cloud name? What is the deployment tool you use? Okay, SVN also can be used. Huh? Okay, Serena version manager or subversion manager? Serena version manager. Subversion manager. Okay, so SVN or Git or ARM tools can be used. These are different tools. You're not required to know about the abbreviations and all. Okay, now this tool, what it will do is it will copy and paste into the respective folders. They will do the configurations in this tool. There will be some scripts running up whenever you go ahead and do something. Okay. Okay. So instructions, see, the implementation document will tell about the backup plan. Okay, what it will tell about, what it will talk about, I will tell you each one clearly. Okay, so it will talk about what code to move. Okay, and its time. So for everything there will be a certain time period you have to complete. So before you move the code, what you need to do is you need to take the backup. So in case of Pega, the backup will be your database. So they have some already, it's predefined. The backup tools will be there. They will take backup and keep it aside. Okay. So once after the backup taking is been done, so they will go ahead and move the code. Say suppose if at all anything fails, they need to restore it, right? That is what taking backup and then restore the backup. Okay. So then your code will be moved and they will have backout plan. So what is the backout plan? Backout plan ante. So if you want to back out your code, there should be some plan, predefined structure, right? Say suppose you have moved your production code and it is failing, it is completely stopping your application from proceeding further. You should have a backout plan defined. So in the backout plan, how you need to go ahead and redeploy the backout, whatever you have taken the backup. They will follow the backout plan and they will take the backup, whatever that is been available, and they will redeploy into the server so that the server will behave in the as it was behaving in the past. So these are all will be given to you, and testing time. So again, after you move to the production, you will not simply think like it has worked in development, integration and unity. Here also it will work, you will not think. So here you need to test. Who will test here is business analyst. So here they will not create any business. They will have already some test codes available in this test cases. They will run those test cases. It will be fine. They will not create any new business in this one. And once whatever the test cases they have, they are satisfied, they will leave it. Okay, they will say sign off, production sign off. Okay, once you get the sign off, you can leave. See, during the time of deployment, as a developer, you need to be available sitting at your desk. Maybe you need to communicate with the communicator, or you should be available on the call. If at all they face any issues during the deployment with the code or testing during the code with the code, you need to work on it immediately and provide a solution. Okay, so these are all the phases that you need to complete when you start with either. See, this deployment will be done either waterfall or whatever it is. The deployment process is same. Okay, so now just let me summarize. See, in summary, if you go to the methodologies, if you're going to work in waterfall methodology, you will have the rapid development of your requirements. The requirements will be huge. It's a huge functionality. You'll go ahead and develop the things, and you will sit according to your convenient on the calls. You'll go ahead and notify the business analyst, whoever it is, and you will get the requirements as use cases and user stories. Okay, there won't be any sprints and all in waterfall. Now coming to the Scrum methodology, there will be Scrum Masters available. You have different sprints, 2 sprints a week, sorry, 1 sprint in 2 weeks. Okay, you will get the use cases in the sprint, and there will be user stories. Each story will be given with a point. So you need to complete. So suppose your sprint 2 weeks, right? 2 requirements you are being assigned with, means one requirement you have to complete in 1 week, 1 requirement you have to complete in another week. Okay, right? Once you complete with the first one only, you have to jump on the second one. Do not start parallelly. Okay, that will not make any sense. Okay, so once you are done with the first requirement, go to the second requirement. In the first requirement, you have 5 user stories, 1 point each, 5 days. So you have to complete within the user's given points. Okay, and if at all there are any dependencies, say suppose you are going to miss a requirement in this sprint, what you will do? You will move to next sprint. So this requirement entire, say suppose in the requirement, within the requirement, you are going to miss only 1 point. You will not move this point to next sprint. You will have to take out entire requirement and move to the next sprint. Next means not immediately, after the next availability of whatever that they are going to prepare. Maybe it can be after 1 month or 2 months, whatever it is. Okay, maybe it can be immediately. Okay, so like this, if you are going to miss one particular user story within a requirement use case, you will not move the independent user story to the next sprint. Entire requirement should be taken out and moved to the next sprint. You need to remember it. Okay, so this is how user stories. Once you are done with analysis and everything, test case, unit testing and all, you will notify the tech leads. They will take the product file and then they will deploy it, or they will notify the release team again to deploy it into the integration region. Once it has been moved to the integration region, you need to notify the testing team. Our code is been moved ready for testing. So they will jump onto the test region and then they will go ahead with the testing process. They will go ahead, if at all any defects, they will raise the defects into the DMS. You need to complete the defects and again do the deployment. Once everything is fine in the integration, it will be moved to the UAT, user acceptance test region. Once it is moved to the user acceptance testing, they will do the regression testing. So once after regression testing is been completed and everything is fine, so you need to go ahead and prepare the implementation plan. So in the implementation plan, you need to mention what are the what is the path of the application code file and everything you need to mention. You need to add the approvers, you need to add the backout plan, you need to add backout plan as well as backup. How you are going to take backup and what time it will take and all. So you need to be available as a developer during the deployment support. Usually it is night shift that time. Okay. So this and all you need to do. Once the deployment to the production is done, business analyst will do the testing. Once the testing is being done, they will give the approval. Production is fine. We can go ahead and settle down. So you need to come back. So everything is done. This is the process. You will go ahead and move the project. Everyone clear? Any questions? Any doubts? Anything you do not understand? సో మీరు వెళ్ళి చదువుకోండి వాటర్ఫాల్ మెథడాలజీ ఏంటి, జస్ట్ స్క్రమ్ మెథడాలజీ ఏంటంటే మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చదువుకోండి. సో యూ గో అహెడ్ అండ్ రీడ్ ఇట్ ఆన్ ద వెబ్ ఆల్సో. యూ టెల్ మీ దిస్ ప్రాసెస్ ఎనీవే యూ విల్ నాట్ గెట్ ఎనీవేర్. నెక్స్ట్, it's not minimum maximum. See, your scrum methodology is very strict. You have to complete something within the specified time. Okay, you may extend on the release dates for waterfall methodology, but not scrum. Okay, scrum means it should be done. Okay, so you will get the billing with hours in scrum. Okay, as a whole project you will get in the waterfall. Clear everyone? Okay, so up to this clear? Rupa, you have any questions? Sai, see, if you are already working all this process, whatever so far we have discussed is same with respect to irrespective of any technology.
Yes, Harsha, clear.
Yeah, okay, fine. So now we'll go ahead and look into project. Okay, so here you go now. See, in the project explanation, how you need to say, suppose you are going to put insurance project or banking project, whatever the project you are taking. Okay, so you need to remember all these things commonly and general. So here you go ahead. For your project development, again I am going to repeat, you have different servers available. Okay, development server, which is what you are going to work on. Okay, so anything you are going to speak with respect to your project explanation, project code that you have done, you have to speak with respect to development environment only. Okay, clear? Everyone understand about development, integration, user acceptance and production, these terms? Understand? అర్థమైందా? అర్థం
Harsha,
కాదా? వర్క్ చేయని
I'm
వాళ్ళు.
aware.
So I will give you in this way. Say suppose I am working on my machine, right? I am developing my code on the machine. See, the development code and the users will work, access the application will not be on the same machine. Okay, I will develop the code in one machine where PRPC is available. The code will be tested in another machine where PRPC is available. It will be moved. Code will be copy pasted to other region and then tested. From that region, it will be taken to another region called UAT. Means it is another server again. On that again, you have PRPC installed. You will move this product file into that machine, and you have a live environment that is being accessed by end users. Flipkart application you are accessing, right? That is a live environment. That is called production server. Okay, so on that you need to move the final code. Finally, code should be moved to the live environment. That is what production region. See how many servers you will have. For development you have one server. For integration you have one server. For UAT you can have one or more servers. Okay, it's not only one server. For UAT region, they will maintain the nodes and all. The servers can be 3. There will be a load balancing server. Say suppose you take Flipkart. Flipkart will be installed on one server. No, it will be installed on 10 servers. Application will be available on 10 servers. So if you go ahead here, this is one server, this is server 2, this is server 3 and server 4 to server n. Okay, so there will be a load balancing server available here. Okay, and users will be connecting to the Flipkart application from here, browser. From browser, users will be connecting to the Flipkart application. So once you type flipkart.com, it will not go to directly to the application server. Leave about LDAP and all. After your authentication is done, you will come to load balancing server. This is called load balancing server. Say suppose you are going to log into Flipkart and order a product on the big sale day. Okay, so how many people will log in? It will be in crores. That time servers will go down. Okay, I need to manage to be available my server up at every time, and users should not face any issues. I have my server, my application is installed on n number of servers. So there will be an intermediate load balancing server available. Once you type the URL flipkart.com, you will go to load balancing server, and load balancing server will read through all these nodes. How many users are there in this node? So it will redirect. See, first user will be redirected to this, second user will be redirected to this, and third user will be redirected to this, and fourth user will be redirected to this. So like this, if 10,000 users are joining, so 12,000, it will divide 12 by 4. It's not exactly 12 by 4. Suppose 3,500 onto one server, 3,000 on another server, 2,500 on another, so that your application can manage to get more traffic and handle it. Okay, so you will not feel like you have connected to what server, different servers. You will not feel. You will feel like only one server, but your application, so your load balancing will balance of load, means the number of users or requesters who are logging into the particular server. Okay, so like this you will have different servers available to UAT, and production obviously you will have multiple servers, because on a production you should not be going ahead and allowing multiple people onto single server, means it will go down. So more traffic means you will see latency issues application. Okay, clear? Latency and slowness. Okay, so now like this your development is one server, and like this, see, whatever you are going to speak about your project and whatever you have developed, you need to speak about it with respect to the development server only. Okay, you will not code something in UAT and all. So now how you will access your servers? So here we are going ahead and clicking on a double clicking on a file, and file is bringing up the server, and we are going to click on login, and this is not the way. See, PRPC will not be installed on your machine in real time. It will be installed on one server application, like Flipkart installed on server. They have given you one URL to access it. Similarly, your development application will be installed on development server. They will give you a URL. It's not www. It's HTTP. We have right localhost PR web PR server. Similarly, some numbers 14.1.5, that what is that we call IP numbers, or it can be a normal URL way also. Okay, So using that URL, you will type in your browser in your office and click on that, you will see Pega login screen. Okay. So now you have two types of logins. So one is a developer login. So like how you are going to work on PRPC, the same screens you see. And the second one is SS4. This is called single sign-on. Okay. See, when you are going to access the application, PRPC application end users, they will not see the screen, Pega logo, horse symbol and all, they will not see. They will see a common screen, okay, which is a plain screen with username and password, some other company logos and all. That is called single sign-on screen. See, for developer login, development URL, and for this one, this is called SSO URL. So you'll get two URLs for development server. Okay, one URL is single sign-on, another URL is development. You will log into this server, you will do your development and complete your testing. Once you are done with your testing, you should not think like your code is working and all. After it is completed, you need to log on to single sign-on. There will be another URL. Log in with single sign-on. The operator IDs for single sign-on are different from your operator ID. You will get it from the higher authorities. Okay, you need to log into with that particular login ID and password, and you have to test it. Once your testing is successful in the single sign-on, means you have tested it exactly how end users access. That time you will conclude that your code is working. Clear? నాకెందుకు సరే నేను వెళ్ళిపోతా మంగోలు ఎంతవా అర్థమవుతుందా అర్థం కావట్లేదు. Try to understand. Okay, so single sign-on URL they will be giving you. Okay, so now, so once after your single sign-on testing is complete, go ahead and it is been completed your testing. Okay, that is what. So you need to understand all these things. You have different servers available: development, integration, UAT and production. UAT and production have multiple servers and load balancing will be available. And your SMA will be installed on different server again. Here we have it on same server, right? When you are going to add a new node in SMA, it will ask you local machine, local JVM or remote machine. If you select remote machine, means your SMA is installed on different server. In real time, your SMA will be installed on another server. Okay, your PRPC alone will be here. Your SMA will be, once you click on go to PRPC, whatever this is being configured, you go there, you will see a login screen. You need to log in with the credentials into SMA. Okay, so once after that is been, then that is fine. Okay, now, so like this you will maintain different servers for different things in Pega. So everyone clear up to this? Adobna? Okay, so these are all points you need to remember. I'll send this video, you listen to 5-6 times and then try to write down that time again. Okay, so next, so in a project explanation, see, you have done a project. Say suppose you're going to do a project called loans, collections, or it can be insurance project, or it can be banking project, pure banking project, or court orders project, or healthcare. See, when you are going to keep a project in your resume, so you need to be pretty much confident about business. ఏదో ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ దొరికిందని తీసుకెళ్ళి రెజ్యూమ్లో పెట్టద్దు. ఓకే, మీకు రియల్ టైంలో ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్ బిజినెస్ ఎలా జరుగుతుందని తెలిసి ఉండాలి. యూ షుడ్ బి ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ఇట్స్ రియల్ టైమ్ బిజినెస్. సో యూజువల్లీ విచ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ మోర్ ఆర్ లెస్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్, హెల్త్ కేర్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ఆర్ వెహికల్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ఆర్ హ్యూమన్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ఆర్ ఎనీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్, యూ ఆర్ మచ్ అవేర్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్, రైట్? And cards processing. So in the cards processing also you have some knowledge, up to 50% you are aware of how you will go ahead and initiate a card processing and all. Okay, otherwise loans, for loan processing also you have clear idea what they will do, what is the initial stage and ending stage. See, when you are going to explain your project, so before you go ahead and learn about any project, it is the same process. Okay, you write down in the notes all the screens. What is the first screen? What is the second screen? What is the third screen? Fourth screen? Fifth screen? What is the exact input? What is the final output? These are all you need to identify. Okay, so you need to draw these diagrams and you need to give the names of your own names to your screens, and fields you need to identify, because you're not going to work on really, right? If you have worked on really, means that's fine. So if you're going to get a project and you need to go ahead and manage to tell the project on your own, okay, any kind of project. Say suppose you need to identify all the terminology through the Google. Okay, for loans means what are the terminologies available? So there will be a banker. Who is the banker you are going to take the loan from?
User details.
Who is the
Customer details.
requester? Okay, and then disbursement, loan disbursement, and pre-processing fee, post-processing something, pre-closure fees. Okay, post-processing, EMIs. So these are all some technical terms with respect to your project you should have in your mind. Okay, and well, coming to insurance, I suppose. Okay, insurer. Who is the insurer?
Premier insurance.
What is the insurance company name under? Insurance company. Insurance provider. Who is the provider? Who is the insurance? What is meant by reinsurance? Okay, so in insurance, what are the terms available? Policy, insurance policy, effective date, expiry date, premium, quote, submission, quote numbers. Okay, this and all. First you get the terminology about your business, you should be able to tell it very easily. Okay, so this one you can go ahead and do, Google it, and you can read it, and then you will get the terminology. Okay, so if I'm going to apply for a suppose some court order, something like that. Okay, so suppose you are going to work on a banking check deposit. Here creditor will be available, debitor will be available, and what else, and banker. Okay, and third party banker,
Check details.
check details. Like this, for anything you need to identify the business terminology and accordingly you need to go. Then it is very easy. If you say a project like normal story, it will not be correct. You should have some technical terms involved included in your explanation. Okay, see, first thing, so you need to go ahead and write down before you proceed and explaining your project, appearing for the interview. Write down everything what you have to tell. Okay, what is the project you write down? In the project, how you have to tell, write down, read it and tell it. Okay, now, so say suppose my project is a loan project or insurance project. So we'll take any kind of insurance. Say suppose, I'll better explain this. Say suppose insurance project. See, once you take insurance project, you write down all the terms. Okay, so what is an insurance will have, I'll tell you here. So this and all, if you do not know also submission and all, it doesn't matter, but you should have a quote. See, for insurance or loan or whatever it is, you should have some term, you should know quote. What is meant by quote?
Quotation.
Quotation. Okay, what is the quotation amount for your premium? What is the quotation amount for your loan based on your salary, your experience, and what are the other debts that you have in the market and all? They will give you a quotation. Okay, and then effective date and end date. So what is the meaning of effective date?
Policy duration.
Yeah, see, effective date means, say suppose you are applying for a loan or insurance policy today, means it will not be effective from today itself, it will be effective from so and so future day. Okay, expiry date means 1 year policy you are taking, end date is 1 year. Loan 5 years you are going to put, end date is 5th year last day, and 1 year means 1 year, 2 years means 2 years. Like this you need to identify. This effective date and end date will be there for loans, insurance, cards and everything. Your card will have an effective date, debit card, it will have an expiry date. Your passport also will have an effective date and expiry date, same way. Okay, everything will have an effective date and expiry date. So after this you will have policy, and then premium. So these are the things, and other than this, what you will have? Coverage. What is the meaning of coverage?
External insurance coverage.
Risk. If it is the insurance, you have a risk term. Okay, cover. What is the meaning of coverage?
So what are the
See, what? Yeah, say suppose you are going to go for healthcare. Okay, we will only cover, we will not cover heart diseases. Okay, for the first heart disease we will cover, second, third, and we will not cover. Okay, that is the possibility of coverages. Okay, you will go and say suppose you are taking a healthcare insurance. Okay, under your coverage, what they will have, we are not going to cover chronic diseases. Okay, so say suppose you are going to be on bed for a certain period of time, suddenly we will cover it. Okay, again it depends, if you are met with accident we will cover. Okay, and then so for hospitalization fees, not for entire your lifetime. Okay, it should not be again a chronic. Okay, and then like this they will go ahead and write down something under the coverages and non-coverable things. Non-coverable things mostly they will hide before they give you a policy. Okay, so now after the coverages you have got a code, some code number Q123, and a premium is 5,000 you need to pay. After your code is generated, they will again ask you additional coverages. What is additional coverages means? See, these are the coverages which are not defaultly included into your policy. Okay, say suppose you are going to take additional coverage for health, means additional coverage can be, we will also cover second heart attack. Only first is default, second also will be covered. Once you check any additional coverage selected, your premium will be obviously increased. Okay, so these are the terms with respect to insurance, whether it is health or whatever it is. Additional coverages with respect to automobile, what you will see. Say suppose your coverage is for only your vehicle, okay, so they will not cover glass part when you take vehicle insurance, right? So like your mirrors and all will not be covered in the insurance. It can come under additional coverage. If you want to cover your mirrors, in the additional coverage you need to select, they will increase the premium. Okay, so your engine lifetime, whenever you are buying some, say suppose it is a warranty project, your engine they will cover only 1 year. Your additional coverage can be 5 years. Whenever you are buying a product from some like TV, whatever it is, they will ask you, you want to go ahead and buy some additional coverage for it. What is the additional coverage means? Additional warranty here. Okay, so like that your additional coverages you need to identify and then give it 1 or 2 you tell, that's enough. Okay, now so these are all the terms that you need to identify, whatever that is being required. We'll add more terms if you get it. Okay, now after this you need to go ahead and think about your project screen by screen. Okay, so what is the first screen that is there in my project? So always you need to imagine a situation where a person is going to the business. Direct, you think about manual procedure and convert it into an application. Okay, so I want a bank account. What is my first procedure? I'll go to bank. Okay, going you cannot implement here. Okay, after I go, what I will do? Think about manual procedure and tell me what I will do. User details form. Basically we'll create user details form. I have completed all my personal details. Next paper will be there. In the next paper, what I will write? What is the type of account I want? Okay, from which bank I want? From which branch I want? Type of account, savings, current account, means transaction details. When my bank account should be effective, so it's effective date. Okay, so there will not be expiry for bank account. And what else will be there? Yeah, so that screen is completed. That paper is third paper. I will go ahead and give document submission. These are the documents I can submit for while applying for a bank. Okay, and then the fourth screen, referrals. Who is going to refer to you this bank? Okay, related to the referral information. And then what else? Fifth screen. So with this your process is done. You will sign on and then submit the document and you will go. Later internal process will be there. So next process will be review. They will review everything. Whatever. So the means here after routing. Once you are submitted up to here, 4 screens, it will be routed to managers. Some managers depends on the conditions taken. So routing is available here and they will either approve or reject based on whatever it is done. Okay. Say suppose you have been identified, you will give your PAN card number and all. Whatever the PAN number you have given, the details you have submitted and that is not matching, they will reject it. Okay. It is matching. They identified that say suppose some criminal background, they will not give you. Okay. So further if Vijay Mallya goes ahead and asks for a bank account, anyone will give in India? No one will give. Okay, so like that they will do some background verification also. They have their own process, their own teams. Okay, it will be routed to another team for verification purpose. Verification team, what they will do, once their verification is been done, they will go ahead and tick mark, verification is done successfully, approved. It will come to manager, manager will approve. Verification is rejected, this is what the problem, comments they will put it, revert it back to the manager. So manager may send it for secondary verification or manager may reject it. Okay, case will be closed. Otherwise it will further proceed. After the approvals, it will further proceed to identify what we can give to him. Okay, so he is applying for a current account. Okay, does he have a business which is been currently running? Does he have a valid landline phone number that has been given? Okay, the establishment is correct and everything is fine. They will go and verify all the documents. Okay, everything is fine. They will go ahead and give you the bank account. Otherwise they will reject it. At any point of time you may have to reject based on the verification that is being done. So this is how you need to think about the project. So now we'll go ahead and think about insurance project. So in insurance project, what we'll have customer details, transaction details, from which branch you want to take, what type of insurance you want to take. After that, it is vehicle insurance, what we have done. So what is the vehicle details? What is the license details? What are the driver details? So who is the primary driver or secondary driver? Okay, so we'll collect all the details. What is his age? Based on age also you will reject or give the insurance. Based on age also your premium will be increased or decreased. So if you are 20 years and you are going to apply for vehicle insurance on your name, so your premium will be higher than the 40 years, 30 years, 40 years guy. Okay, పెళ్ళైన తర్వాత స్లోగా ఉంటారు, పెళ్ళికి ముందు ఫాస్ట్గా ఉంటారు కదా. Okay, so కాబట్టి ప్రీమియం పెరుగుతుంది, యాక్సిడెంట్ అవ్వడానికి ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, సో based on your age and everything, there will be many calculations that will be done behind the scenes. These and all you need to take it as a decision rules, and you need to think about it and what decision rule I can implement for this and all. You write down, prepare well with 4-5 pages and then appear for the interview. Okay, after this has been done, it will go to, once after you view your license details, it will go ahead and make a service call to the department of RTO. See, this guy has given these details, these are correct or not. Okay, this is correct, he has made any faults in the future, in past. Okay, means he has jumped the signals, or he has done any violations, he has done any accidents. So based on that your premium will be increased. Okay, so now your vehicle details, you will supply anti-theft is there for your vehicle. Say suppose your vehicle anti-theft is there, means there will be less number of chances, your premium will be decreased automatically. Anti-theft this particular device is not there, means say suppose you are going to put a this one, what is that, cab. See, you will what you will do for your cab, say suppose you are an agency and you are registering for vehicle insurance your cab. You will hire a driver, he may escape with the cab, right, at any point of time. So there is a more chances that you can go ahead and put be under risk. So you may climb at any point of time with the risk of anti-theft. So that time you have a GPRS and you are monitoring from office. If he is going to like this, the caps will be defined. So if you are going to move the region, whatever they have given to you, engine will be automatically stopped. They will come, agency people, and catch you why you have moved out of the region. You should not move out of the region when you are going to work on as a cab driver. Okay, so like that devices are available in your car or not in your vehicle. Okay, if the device is there, there is a less chance of risk, so your premium will be decreased. Nothing is there means premium will be increased. So this and all will be taken into consideration. Okay, say suppose you are going to apply for a premium where your vehicle is claim where your vehicle is met with an accident. So now when your vehicle is met with an accident, so that time they will collect whether your service provider, say suppose you bought a car from Maruti. Okay, means they will go ahead and give you towing. What is the meaning of towing? Your vehicle is stopped at any point of time due to some problem within this 1 year, means you can call toll-free number, they will come and they will tow the vehicle and take it for a free of cost. After 1 year, if you are going to insure the same vehicle, your premium will be increased because towing cost also will be there on this particular claim procedure they will give you. So like this, everything they will consider and they will calculate the premium. So after this last details or whatever that is being taken, then you will proceed further to display the quote information along with the calculated premium. After quote is done, additional coverages. Additional coverage is done means you will go ahead and proceed to submit the policy. Policy number will be generated once after you made the payments. Okay, so the payment system can be a third party system. So any business, you think it in a manual way and create the screens for it. Okay, now, so the first screen in the business of insurance or bank, say suppose you are going to bank, means they will give you a form, but in the application wise how they will do is, when they are going to access it, first they will verify. They will not directly go and open the form and then they will enter the details and create an account for you. They will verify whether this particular person is already an account holder in our bank or not. That should be done. If you are going to take an insurance from Bajaj Allianz, they will verify whether you are already been insured previously or not. If you are there, means your account will be already there. They will go ahead and add a new policy. Okay, they are not required to create your account again. If you have already one account in the bank, you are going to take the second account type. They will put all these accounts under one account name. Single account name will be there. You have savings account, current account, everything. So your first screen in your application of insurance or banking or whatever it is, okay, healthcare, search screen. See, this search cannot be implemented in, will not be implemented in Pega. Okay, only the search screen will be there, results will be taken. Mostly it will be 99% service call. Why it will not be implemented? Here, application will go down if you implement here itself. So you will make a service call. You can make it a connect so. Okay, first screen, if you go for an insurance policy, they will verify your first name, last name, surname, whatever that you have given. They will verify whether you are already available or not. Okay, other than this, with a PAN number in India or with an SSN number in US also they can search. It will make a service call whether this particular customer with these details is already available in our system or not. If you are already available, means your account is already there. It will make in the next screen, these are the account details it will display. Once you click on search, it will display the details down below. you will say proceed to quote. Okay, otherwise proceed to create an account and a button also. Okay, two buttons will be there. One button will be conditionally displayed. Sorry, two buttons will be conditional. When account is there, account button will not be visible. Only quote proceed to take policy, that button will be available. If account is not there, proceed to policy will not be available. Only account button, create an account button will be available. Okay, that's how you need to imagine. So after the search screen, your search and details are available. If you are going to create an account, it is a decision making here in your flow. Your first one is so here is the start for your flow, and you will proceed to an assignment. Okay, so here in the assignment you have search implemented. So after this, what you will have? Yeah, decision. So after that you will have a decision. So whether he has an account or not. He has account, go in this way. So he does not have an account, go to create an account. He already has an account means go ahead and so you need to draw the flow diagram like this on your paper. Okay, so here what it will display, it will go ahead, it will display account creation. This is the account assignment. Okay, say suppose once after your account, in the account creation, what are the details that you will give? What details you will give? I will go ahead here. So in the account creation, what are the details you will give? Personal details, address details, normal address details, what is your address and all. Okay, so once after you give personal details and address details, you will give a zip code, right? It should be validated. So zip code should be validated. Here is a, you can say connect soap in your application. Connect soap is available. Okay, otherwise it can be within the 2.1. Okay, account creation may happen, otherwise it can go to 2.2. Okay, so if an account is already been available means, so what it will do, it will go to proceed to collect your transaction information. So here if you come across with this one, account is available, all the details you have given, account has been created, you will proceed to give transaction information. If you don't have an account already, sorry, if you have already an account is available means it will directly come to here. Okay, this is the path it will directly go, otherwise it will go to this screen and come here. Clear? So like this you need to imagine and do. Here is the decision table. Where you have used the decision table in your application means one place is already done. Many other places you can use still. Okay, so transaction information screen, what are all the things you will give? Agency code means branch code, and then effective date, expiry date, transaction type means insurance means personal, commercial or bank means savings account, current account, whatever it is. Okay, this has been done now. Okay, in the third screen, so once after you have given your account details and transaction information, in the third screen what you will do, see, say suppose you need to display address details again. This is your address, verify or edit it. See, you will fill the current address details. Here I will give current address details. Say suppose he already has taken a policy, previously his current address is KBHB 95. Now he is staying at Kukatpalli area. So third screen you need to display current address details, verify it and proceed further, or edit it and change, submit and proceed further. It will update the current address details. Okay, so fourth one. So after the address details is completed, what we can go ahead and take? Vehicle details. So what you will give in the vehicle details, again same thing whatever we have done. Vehicle identification number. If you are going to put your UK project, you need to identify this. what is the vehicle? In India, win is there. In US, win is there. In UK, what is there? In Australia, what is the entire defect? If you go to the web, you will get it. And then make, model, and everything will be displayed. See here, once you enter vehicle identification number, it's a service call again. Service call to win department. It's a government department, right? Okay. So if it is successfully verified only, you will display. What you will display? Make, model, year, inka. Okay, make year and have now. Okay, a company. What is the company that has? Okay, these are all you will display, and in the fifth screen you will give driver details. Okay, when you give driver details, what are the details you will give? See, you are going to take the insurance, but see here, you may not be the driver for this vehicle. You are hiring a driver. So, see, you are a owner of the car. You have to take insurance on your name, but you cannot be the driver, right? Driver can be someone else. Okay, you need to provide the driver details. What is his name? Okay, and name, his address details, and his age, gender, all these common details, and so on. Okay, now say this is the principal driver. He is the spelling in there, right? He is the primary driver. Okay, next there can be occasional drivers, right? So sometimes when your driver is not there, he will drive the car. Okay, that means you are the occasional driver. So here you need to provide all these details. So any one of these two drivers you have mentioned here, if the vehicle is being damaged in their hands only, it will come under coverage. If someone else, if you give to your friend and damage it, we don't bother. Okay, in US like this it will be. So you will go ahead and give in the vehicle details whether it is a commercial vehicle or normal vehicle. Okay, that is a personal vehicle or commercial vehicle. Here it is a personal vehicle, means personal vehicle details. Commercial vehicle means all the vehicle details you need to enter. Okay, now here you go ahead. Okay, so after the driver details is been completed, you will give license details. Okay, so in the license details, what you give? License number. So here it will make a service call again, right? Service call to whom? License department, government department again. So on license number is valid or not. So it will verify. If it is not valid, it is not valid. If it is valid, it is valid. It will display. Okay. All of the details you will provide, and then proceed further to sixth screen. So after the license details, whatever it will display is coverage details. So coverage details, it is a read only screen. So what it will display? It will display all the coverages. Okay, this is what we are going to cover, this is what we are going to cover, everything will be displayed. You need to accept and proceed. Okay, so you need to accept and proceed. So once you accept this one and proceed further, so it will go ahead and display loss details. So here you can mention, hang on, 7th one and 6th one here, loss details. See, once after you give your license number, this person has done any violations before and all, loss details. This is just a service call again. Service call on your win number plus service call on your loss license number, whatever that has been done previously, all the data will be displayed here. Okay, with the losses information. Okay, there will be another department, loss details department. They will provide the loss details. It will make a service call and display all the previous losses information. Okay, so that means now after the coverage details, loss details is done, coverage details, once you are accept and proceed, it will display code details screen. See, in the code details screen, what it will display? Code number. Okay, and then it will display quoted premium, and it will display effective date, expiry date, which you have entered previously, right? Effective date and expiry date. So it will go ahead and display all these things. Okay, here you will say proceed to take policy. Submit. See, once you say proceed to take policy here, on the 7th screen. Once after it is displayed, okay, you are good with this and proceed to take policy, it will display additional coverages. So in the additional coverage, what will display? It will display checkboxes and additional coverage will be displayed. You can opt for multiple additional coverages. See, your quoted premium is $500 means if you select additional coverages, in policy premium will be increased. If you do not select anything means you will be going ahead and getting the same details. And umbrella coverages. Next screen is umbrella coverages. What is this umbrella coverages? See, it is something related to additional coverage only, but umbrella coverage means again you are going to separately insure some of the part. Okay, I want to go ahead and insure my passengers who are traveling in the car. See, if you take a personal loan, they will give you an umbrella coverage of insurance. See, if you are going to cover your vehicle, so you can go for umbrella coverage of passengers coverage. Whoever is been traveling for 1 year, we will cover them. You need to pay per, say suppose you are going to cover 3 people, means you need to pay 3 into 3, 9,000. So that they will be allowed to get a coverage of 1 lakh each. It is not a specific person, it can be anyone. Okay, whoever is traveling that time. Okay, that's what you can make it as an umbrella coverage. Say suppose passengers coverage. And then, so after this is been done, it will go ahead and display payment information, payment details screen. Okay, so in the payment details you can select the payment mode. See, it can be one time. Again, this will decide on your premium, or 2 times, can be 4 times. See, if you are going to opt for a commercial vehicle insurance, you may not be able to pay at one time, single shot. 3 months, every 3 months you can go ahead and pay a premium. Okay, 4 times. So if you're going to make it one time, single shot means $5,000. 2 times means it will be 5,500. 4 times means it will be $6,000 by 4. Okay, like this they will calculate the premium. So, and after that, once your payment is been done, so you will go, it will go ahead and display policy information. What it will display here? Policy number. This is about P12345 and premium. This is final premium, and then it will display effective date, expiry dates. So this and all it will display. You will say finally the case will be closed, and on the effective date your policy will be effective. And see, once this is been done, your policy should be, it will be inserted into the tables and all. It will not be effective. So what you will do is you will submit this to agent. Okay, so agent will run on every overnight. Okay, so if it gets the data, the date that is going to get, current date is equal to effective date, means this particular policy will be updated with a column called policy effective in the tables, backend tables. Effective equal to Y. Till the time by default it is N. Okay, policy effective equal to Y means these are all the policies which are active policies in my system. Okay, here agent will take. Okay, like this agent you can use here. It is a standard agent. Okay, so okay, so like this. See, once you start telling about a product, you should not tell all this. Okay, so if you are going to tell all this, there is no one to listen. Okay, so here you go ahead. You need to explain your project within 1 minute. Okay, initially when you are going to explain your project, see, my policy is an insurance project which is mainly meant for, which is being accessed by the back operations teams. Okay, so the agents will collect the information on a file and submit it to the back operations teams. Back operations teams opens the application and submit all the details. So once they submit all the details, it will generate a quote number with a quoted premium. Later they will go ahead and proceed to further to get the policy. Once the policy is been, once it completes, the policy number will be generated along with the final premium, and the policy will be effective, will be available for a term of 1 year with an effective and expiry dates. That's it. I understand that your application generates a policy for a term of 1 year. Okay, so if you want to explain it now in detail, you need to go ahead and explain. Okay, so within a minute simply you will give what is the input, what is the output. We'll submit all the customer details, vehicle details, driver details, loss details, and everything we'll be submitting. It will generate a code with a quoted premium. After that we'll go ahead and submit the additional coverage details, and we'll go ahead with the payment, and it will generate a policy number with a final premium. It will be for a term of 1 year with an effective and expiry dates. That's it, everyone will understand. Okay, so if it is a banking project, loan account means we'll submit all these details. Our loan will be given. Once the loan is been given to you, see, loan will not be activated by you, loan will be activated by banker. Okay, so it will be submitted to an agent on the specific day, disbursement day. There will be a disbursement day. On the specific day, the agent will update it to Y, and it send this request to bank. So bank will go ahead and disburse the amount. Okay, so like this you need to think about anything in real time, how it works, and create it as an application. So if you know this one, you can implement, you can go ahead and tell any project. It's not only loan, it's not only insurance, healthcare, whatever it is, you should be able to explain the project. Okay, take it in general way, it is understandable to humans. Okay, so like that you explain your project in 1 minute. What is the input, what is the output, what are the things that you will give as an input. Okay, and then if you want to go ahead and explain completely, you need to tell all these things where your service calls are being made. So the places you can tell agency code, I'll give service call, and vehicle identification number is a service call, loss details is a service call, and policy number is a service call to mainframe. Quote number, see these numbers where it will generate. Quote number and policy number PRPs will not generate. So you will make a service call to mainframe and it will generate. See, and your rating calculation also will be done by some mainframe system itself. You can tell that. Okay, what is that is, if you don't know about mainframes means I did not involve in that implementation, you can tell that. That's okay. Okay, so like this you need to go ahead and explain about your project. So the same thing where you have used file listeners in your project. So in this project where you have used file listener, so how about file listener here? See, this is the manual process we talked about, right? The same thing you can automate. So all the data you will collect in a file, scan it and send it to the centralized department in a CSV file format. CSV file, once it is placed on the BPM server, it will go ahead and read the file, call an activity will call new from flow. In the flow you will have all these flow shapes available. Okay, so there will not be any manual intervention, all are utility shapes only. Whatever that it is you're entering manually, it is there already in the file. It will take at each and every level to the properties and then proceed further to in the automation process. Okay, you can include where you have used routing. You can tell them, so we need approvals at these stages. You need to identify the approval parts and all, otherwise the work will be transferred to different departments. Okay, and you need to identify where you have used SLAs. When you route the task, you need an SLA. Okay, once it goes for the disbursement, it will have an SLA. It should be completed within the specified time or something, or once it goes to approval team, so it should be completed. This is how you need to understand and identify, and you need to include, and you need to be prepare well before you go to the interview about the project. This is how you need to prepare. Okay, if you tell in this way, no one will expect more than this. That is enough. Okay, but for every one role you identify one task in your application and go. Okay, where you have used decision table, one place you can take, and like this many other places we have decision tree, something like that. Okay, where you have done validations, many validations you can mention. Okay, so where you have used decisions in your flow you can mention. Okay, SLAs, routing, where you have used agent, where you have used file listener. Okay, so this and all you can go ahead and let them know. Okay, so if you're good, we can go ahead and wind up. So we'll meet class, whatever the Monday classes ఉంటాయి మీకు అయిపోయింది కదా already. So if you need any help at any point of time, you can ask me.